Explorers, experts, and, on occasion, regular people make incredible discoveries every single day. Sometimes we don't hear about some of the ones that go under the radar discovered under ordinary circumstances by ordinary people. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 fascinating discoveries. Colombian farmer finds money adding up to $600 million. Jose Mariana Cartolos, a farmer from Colombia, was given a $3,000 grant from the Colombian government to dig on his family's palm oil plantation property. The property had been in his family for over 200 years. Little did he know that he would find himself making one of the largest monetary finds when he started this process. When he began digging a trench for a new irrigation system, Jose discovered something under the ground surface, several large blue containers. The 65-year-old farmer could never have guessed that they would have contained no less than $600 million of Pablo Escobar's cash. Pablo Escobar was a drug cartel leader. It is estimated he was worth around $30 billion. It is even said that he had to spend $1,000 per week on rubber bands just to wrap stacks of cash. Due to the nature of his business, he couldn't use a traditional banking system. The wealthiest criminal in the world hid his money all over Colombia in money pits, speculated at stashing anywhere from $500 million to $1 billion. The CIA suspects that there are around 100 money pits still undiscovered. The money locations left this earth with Escobar when he passed away, leaving Colombia in somewhat of a gold rush situation. People flocked to the country to excavate the lands in hopes of finding a little bit of the lost cash. As for the farmer in this story, Jose will not be allowed to keep the cash for himself. He will have to turn it over to the Colombian government. However, the government claims that even though they will seize it, they will use the cash to improve the lives of poor farmers all over the country. In true Escobar fashion, the money will go towards building hospitals, schools, work programs, and rebuild entire neighborhoods for the poor. The Saddle Ridge Hoard. In 2013, 2 anonymous people known only as John and Mary found 1,427 gold coins on their property. This money in its day was worth over $27,980. However, this stash of California gold is now worth around $10 million. They were walking with their dog one day, not like any other day, and noticed a rusted can sticking out of the ground. When they investigated further, they found the hideaway money. The couple had recalled some individual features about their property before finding the trove. They had noticed an old empty can hanging in a tree. Nearly grown right into the tree, it had been there so long. There was also a rock. The namesake for the fortune, Saddle Ridge, is what they called it. The trove center ended up being precisely 10 steps between the jagged rock and the North Star. They found 8 additional cans, just like the first, after further investigation, resulting in the mass amount of gold coins they discovered. After contacting a firm to represent them and their find, they learned that their discovery was worth a fortune. They also learned that some of the coins were in mint condition, uncirculated, and on a few of them worth $1 million each. They are dated in a range from 1866 to 1894. A few of the coins known as the Dahlonega Half Eagle dated in the 60s made it all the way to California from Dahlonega, Georgia. Before the California gold rush, there were discoveries of gold in North Carolina and Georgia in the early 1800s. Not on the same scale, of course, but enough to cause rushes to those places, said Douglas Mudd, the director and curator of the American Numismatic Association Money Museum. During the US Civil War, the Confederate government took over the mints in North Carolina and Georgia, but by that time, the gold on the East Coast gold stores were burned up, and the mints closed shortly after that. The find was initially thought to represent the 1901 theft of $30,000 from the San Francisco Mint. A bank branch opened to support the California gold rush in 1854. Their employee at the time, Walter Dimmick, was known to be the culprit. This theory was disregarded by the numismatics firm and the US Mint Bank itself because the coins were too diverse in face value and condition. Other ideas are that this was a gold stash of Jesse James or Black Bart. Another theory is that this was a treasure hidden by the Succession Secret Society, the Knights of the Golden Circle. However, the most likely theory is that the previous landowner buried their money instead of trusting banks with it. That plan sure worked out well for our anonymous treasure hunters. The Vale of York Hoard. The last find is the Vale of York Hoard. The hoard was found completely uninterrupted in 2007 near North Yorkshire, England. David Whelan, a businessman, and his son Andrew had taken up metal detecting and made it their hobby together for about 5 years. They hadn't found anything particularly groundbreaking until one day, on their search, they went to investigate an unploughed field before spring planting. Their treasure hunting luck was about to change drastically, for they ended up finding this coveted prize. The men found parts of a lead chest and a silver bowl about a foot under the soil and called archaeologists right away to come to inspect the site. David Whelan said of the location, "It was January the 6th. I think around lunchtime by the time we got to the field. It was a typical dreary January day in a muddy field. It was a field that we normally don't go in because we've never found anything good in there. We tend to find dozens of Victorian buttons, but it was either that or go home." David and his son have proved that we can all be treasure hunters if we try hard enough and keep at it. They could see a few coins sticking out of the soil as they surveyed the area and knew that they might have found something fantastic. It was said that the hoard size was the largest and most notable in over 150 years. Due to the Treasure Act of 1996, the find was first offered to museums, and then the proceeds were split by the discoverers and the landowner. The hoard itself consisted of 617 silver coins and 65 other items such as ornaments and ingots. The things were hidden in a vessel lined with gold, either a bowl or a pot that they later called the Vale of York Cup. The coins had various things engraved upon them, everything from spiritual symbols to imagery, giving clues about newly Christianized Vikings and their religious leanings. Given Vikings' nomadic behavior, there were pieces from all around the world: North Africa, Afghanistan, Ireland, Russia, Scandinavia, and more. The hoard was acquired by York Museums Trust and the British Museum with plans to display the collection in the Yorkshire Museum. The reserve was then circulated in museums in Berlin, London, and notably in the British Museum's Viking exhibition. Its latest circulation was in 2017 on a touring Viking expedition entitled Viking: Rediscover the Legend. So, as we've seen today with our discoveries of $600 million, the Saddle Ridge Hoard, and the Vale of York Hoard, it seems there's some kind of treasure all around us just waiting to be discovered. You don't have to be an explorer or someone who is an expert in the field to know what you're looking for, just like the people we've heard about today. But what do you make of these interesting and fascinating finds? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.